Can we stop aging? Can we reverse aging?
Reverse aging.
Reverse aging.
Reverse aging
literally will reverse aging.
We could live to 120.
Did you know there are 7 simple exercises that can help you feel and move like you're 20 years younger? Most people think that getting older means getting weaker and losing independence as we age, but that's a lie. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 7 science-backed exercises that reverse aging, starting with fast walking. So walking is low impact and one of the most accessible anti-aging protocols on the planet. One study showed that getting 7,000 steps per day was associated with a 47% lower risk of all-cause mortality. And while walking is amazing, walking speed might be the most underrated biomarker for longevity. Research shows that every 0.1 miles per second increase in walking pace lowers mortality risk by 4%. In Japan, they've actually taken it a step further with interval walking training, which I talked about on this video over here. And essentially, interval walking training is 3 minutes fast, 3 minutes easy for 30 minutes of walking. This type of workout has been shown to improve cardiovascular function, insulin sensitivity, and blood sugar, as well as mitochondrial function, especially in adults over the age of 50. And something that I've realized about fast walking is that it helps you develop a base, which is also a sign of how strong your gait is, which is a function of how strong your legs are. And while the next exercise I'm about to talk about is something you do maybe once or twice a week, walking, especially fast walking, is something you do every single day for at least 30 minutes a day. Now, the next exercise that I would use if I wanted to reverse my aging is high-intensity interval training. Think of high-intensity interval training like a mitochondrial reset. HIIT training forces your cells to adapt under short, intense bursts of stress. That stress rebuilds your mitochondria, which are the tiny little powerhouses responsible for energy production. One study in Aging Cell found that just 4 weeks of HIIT training reversed biological age by 3 to 4 years. In older adults, HIIT training has been shown to effectively boost VO2 max by 20%, effectively making the heart and lungs at least 2 decades younger. Now, when you apply this to your life, don't make the same mistake I did, which was doing 6 HIIT sessions a week, because that is going to be a quick way to burn out. Instead, you want to be aiming for about 1 to 2 sessions per week and play around with different types of intervals so you can keep on switching up for your body. With one type of interval, you can do 6 rounds of 30 seconds hard and 90 seconds off, or you could do a Tabata protocol, which is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off for 4 minutes. There are many ways to do this, and the point is to do this at least 1 to 2 times per week to get the best benefit. Now, while walking and high-intensity interval training have been shown to extend lifespan, which is how long you live, the next exercise I'm going to be talking about are going to improve your health span, which is your quality of life. And the first one is bar hangs. Now, I don't mean going to the bar, hanging out, and having a couple drinks. And excuse me for the dad joke, okay? Anyways, moving on. Now, bar hangs are especially important for people who sit at desks because they can reverse a lot of the damaging effects of long-term sitting. So when you hang from a bar, you are improving your posture, improving your shoulder health, decompressing your spine, all while improving your grip strength. And grip strength predicts everything from heart health to overall survival. A 2018 study followed 500,000 participants and found that those with stronger grips had 50% lower risk of death independent of body weight or activity level. And bar hangs are one of the simplest ways to build grip strength. You start with 10-second holds and you work up over time. Your grip, your shoulders, your forearms will strengthen, and so will your chances of staying independent as you age. Now, while bar hangs are for the upper body, the next 2 are going to be for your lower body, which is the most important part of aging, starting with squats. Squats are the foundation of function. It trains your ability to get off the ground, get off of chairs, and walk upstairs. Also, you have to know that leg power is a key modifiable factor for healthy aging. A 10-year twin study found that higher lower body strength predicts slower cognitive decline, better brain health, and even controlling for genetics and environment. Multiple studies show that older adults who squat regularly triple their leg strength and improve their blood sugar balance and bone density. And it's not about loading plates, it's about reclaiming the ability to stand and move and live on your terms. Now, as mentioned in this video over here, I wouldn't necessarily do back squats, as going heavy on back squats might amplify risk to reward, but I would do some variation of a squat, whether it be a goblet squat, a hack squat, or a variation that works for your body type. Now, while squats are for pushing, the next one is for pulling, and I'm talking about trap bar deadlifts. And the deadlift is a crucial exercise to gain muscle, develop function in your hips, legs, core, and even grip. And just like the squat, I think a conventional deadlift brings a little bit more risk than it needs to. That's why I would choose a trap bar deadlift. Studies show that trap bar deadlifts engage large muscles with less spine stress, aiding longevity and daily daily function. Other research show they rapidly increase lean muscle and bone density, which are two major buffers against aging. Muscle is your metabolic armor, and trap bar deadlifts are for training your ability to lift things off the ground without putting your back out. The stronger you are at this exercise, the slower you age. Now, the next exercise caused a lot of controversy when I posted this on X, and it's farmer carries. If there's one movement that carries over to life, it's literally carrying. Loaded carries train your posture, balance, and grip all in one shot. Studies show that people who can carry 50 to 100% of their body weight for 60 seconds have significantly lower risk of disabilities and falls. And when I started doing farmer carries, I noticed two things. When you're carrying a challenging weight like your own body weight, it's hard as I've also noticed that I have greater endurance in my ability to carry things for long distances like groceries or bags or even water jugs. And the last part is I feel like my grip strength has improved as a result of bringing carries into my life. And the great thing is you don't need fancy gear, dumbbells, kettlebells, or even water jugs or even grocery bags. They work. Every loaded step teaches your body how to stay stable under stress, which is the essence of resilience. Now, the last exercise changed my life, and it was mobility exercises like the world's greatest stretch. Before my exercises, I love to do a little bit of a mobility routine that includes the world's greatest stretch, and for good reason. Mobility keeps you moving freely. If you lose it, every single daily task becomes a negotiation. When you improve hip mobility with exercises like the world's greatest stretch and the couch stretch, it has been shown to improve flexibility, reduce fall risk, and keep joints healthy well into old age. Also, you may notice in Japan that many older adults can rise from a cross-legged position without using their hands, which is a sign of lifelong hip strength, flexibility, which supports independence and longevity. 5 to 6 minutes of daily mobility post-workout or even before bed is enough to maintain range of motion and keep your nervous system sharp. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is because I became a dad at 40, and when I did, everything changed. Before that, health was about performance, lifting heavier, looking leaner, hitting new records. But the moment I held my daughters for the first time, I felt a shift. It wasn't about abs anymore. It was about time. Like, how much time could I buy back? I started thinking as much about health span and lifespan, which is how long I can live and what are the quality of those years. Because I just don't want to be around when my kids grow up. I want to be the dad who can still sprint beside them, carry them on my shoulders, and walk them down the aisle one day without a cane. And that's why I dove deep into the science of aging, and what I found changed the way I train myself and every client I coach. And again, you don't need endless hours in the gym or expensive recovery gadgets, just consistency. 1 to 2 HIIT sessions a week, 3 strength sessions a week, daily walking, 5 minutes of mobility. You do that for a year and you're gonna feel decades younger without chasing hacks or pills. Now, something you have to know is that longevity is a game of avoiding chronic disease for as long as possible. The more disease you accumulate over time, the shorter your life will be. And one of the best ways to reduce your chronic risk is by avoiding dangerous levels of visceral fat in your belly. And I did a video on the world's easiest diet to avoid visceral fat. Click over here and I'll see you over there.